Hello and welcome to another Star Trek Discovery review. All is Hope episode. On the fence for this one. We get the Starfleet Academy politics, a bit of chicanery going on, no action, people. It's a very people episode. You know, you've got the dodgy Federation president. She's trying to get Navarro, Vulcan, trying to rejoin the Federation. Vulcans don't trust them. They want a clause so they can get out because apparently the Federation became, over its history, it became very detached from its member worlds. And they want this clause. And there's a bit of a stalemate. And there's a reason suddenly Burnham gets called in with Saru into this meeting. I think there's a bit of the Vulcan president fancies Saru. And that could be interesting. I've got a feeling this is all like the whole political situation. I said this on the podcast last night. We had a chat. And the big analogy of the Federation president, that it's another Kaiwin situation. You know, she's out doing the best for what she believes in, but, well, it's really what she wants, and she thinks she knows what's best. I've got a feeling the Navarre president, or the Vulcan president, and the Admiral dude, I mean, predictions on the podcast last night, it was that I think there's going to be some kind of standoff, like episodes down the line, you know, with the Federation. And I've got a feeling the Admiral or that Vulcan woman are going to become president of Federation, because I think she manipulated Burnham into appearing at this, like, conference, you know, and Burnham interfered in it by coming out with this compromise. And it's sort of interesting, you know, where this is going. I mean, by the end of the episode, they come up with this, like, how they do Starfleet officers, and like there's a tribunal for them, and they come out, she comes up with this idea, her and Saru think of it, and it's acceptable for both sides. But the Federation president, she seems to, like, the thing is with Burnham is that when they came out from 700 years ago, you know, in the past, into the future, everything, their attitude, well, that everything were possible and all this, and they all felt quite threatened by it in the future, you know, like the different mentalities. So then we get on to, like, Tilly, who's still on the path of not quite knowing where she's going in life. And Tilly's all right. I mean, she's lovely. She's a nice character, you know. Well, she gets I don't know. She ends up training some Starfleet cadets, and the problem is, because all these worlds have been cut off for centuries, it's getting them all to work together. And the other officer from the Discovery, they both take a shuttlecraft out, and they have to get these cadets together. We got this episode in Voyager. We've had it in Next Gen. You know, DS9. You know, like out like a bonding exercise. And of course, it all became a bit predictable. Crashed on a planet, and they've got to survive and get chased around by a couple of monsters. And they survive together. And then it all comes out that the Orion guy's father was against the chain, and he got locked up. Son joined Starfleet. How do you say? He joined Starfleet to, you know, in his father's name. This other alien, I forgot what race he's from, but he despises the Orions because of what did to his people. They've got to work around all this. And Tilly says, tell him, you know, she tells him who his father was, and they all start working together. And they get up top of this hill, and they get beamed out at the last second. And that's it. Buck is trying to build a mandala. He's to come at peace with his losing of his planet. I like the Doctor, dude. He's really simple. He's very good in this, the Doctor. And he's sort of trying to get it across to him about putting the ghosts at rest and all this. And it sort of just start working. Then we jump back to like Burnham and the president. There's like a few words said. And then we get Tilly and Burnham. She says, look, I want to teach for a while. She misses her. I mean, she misses her mother and her family. I mean, you know, these people have jumped all this time into the future. What about the families? You know, you know, it's a big decision they've done, isn't it? Now, I'm going to say I found Burnham. I'm starting to really like Burnham now. She seems to, I'm very comfortable with her now. She, in the first season, you know, I always said it was the captain in the big chair that worked. But I can see where they're going with it's not like her progression to the big chair. But since she's there, it sort of works quite well. But all in all, I mean, it wasn't a bad episode. It's a very people episode. You know, it's all about them dealing with stuff and life on the ship and a bit of politics and chicanery put in there. But it's interesting. I suppose from next week, it's going to start ramping it up with the dark matter anomaly or the primordial wormhole. All in all, quite an enjoyable episode. So that's it for me. Not a bad episode. I have to say, we're 4 episodes in, quite enjoying this series so far. You know, season 3, don't have time for. Said this time and time again. We did make some predictions on the podcast yesterday where we think this is all going. The anomaly, can't work that out. It moves, so something's controlling it. And what's on the other side is going to be interesting. But yeah, I really do think there's going to be some standoff between that president and the Discovery crew. There's going to be something like that. I don't know about a civil war, but it's going to be a standoff. Could turn into like the beginning of something. You know, but I've got a feeling the Admiral and the Vulcan president are probably going to outdo the president in charge. I mean, it's interesting about how we get to find out about the Cardassian, the Bajorans, and how you get some like how people came together, which is quite interesting. So that's the end of this review. Like I said, not a bad episode. And I'll see you all on the next Discovery review. Live long and prosper.